Is it recording? Here we go now. Recording.
Cool.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Twisted Wanderer podcast. I'm your host, Jack. And in this episode, I have a dear friend of mine I met in beauty school. And she's amazing. She's one of my best friends, Miss Katie Fro. Say hi, Katie.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. I'm so excited you're here. So I figured, why don't you tell us all a little bit about yourself? I know you do hair and all that fun stuff. So yeah, introduce yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Katie Fro. I met Jax back in beauty school back in 2011 we started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then graduated 2012, which is crazy. So yeah, I'm a hairstylist full time. I love it. Yeah, I feel like hair is just like my life. I live in New York still, which is where Jax is from.
Yes.
Yeah. On Long Island. I work at Studio Trio, which is the salon that she's mentioned before. We even worked together for a little bit. And actually, my first salon job was with you too. Because of you, you got me hired at my first job.
Oh, God. So we don't even name that salon, though.
I
don't even
know
if that salon's still open.
No, it's not. Sometime last year I drove past it and I think it is a salon still, but like obviously not the same. I think the space is still being used as a salon. Anyway, that's not relevant.
Don't go back to those terrible days.
Oh, but yeah, so I live on Long Island. I live on a flower farm, which is pretty cool. Grew up on a flower farm. My parents grow flowers. Mainly to like landscapers and whatnot. But yeah.
I know she does live on a very pretty farm. And you have a greenhouse and all that, and your dad plants lots of flowers. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't even know the last time I was at your house.
I know. I know. Because I feel like anytime you've been here, it was either like seeing you at the salon or I go to your apartment or whatever.
Yeah. I know. I feel like, yeah, it was probably to do my hair, honestly.
Probably. Probably.
I haven't gotten my hair done. Oh wait, I guess I'll show you now. Yeah, I test stranded a piece of hair. And hold on, let me find it. It's a hot mess. It got pretty light. I should have kept track of it. Oh no, it's probably lost in my head of hair.
Well, I see that your hair is mostly dark, little light in the front, right?
Yeah, but I did a test strand for you. Yeah, I'll eventually find it while we're talking. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm really mad I can't find it right now. But yeah. So yes, we were in the salon together, and then I haven't had my hair done in, I don't know, a very long time. Probably a year since I left you, and I wanted to show her a test strand on here that she thought I should try and attempt to color my entire head with bleach, because I've never done that, and I'm really tempted. So that's just something I really want to do, but I will find it. But in the meantime, I wanted to, so this episode's just gonna be random, guys, for who's ever listening. Katie and I also, Katie inspired me to rock climb.
Yeah.
So how did you get into your rock climbing journey? I want to hear a little bit about that.
Honestly, I feel like I was mostly inspired by like Instagram. Honestly, I kept seeing like Instagram things of like people rock climbing. I would see like other friends that I follow on Instagram rock climbing. I even had one of my clients who lives in Colorado now. She would come in to get her hair cut and she would tell me like, you should come rock climbing with us. Like we go, I think it was like every Sunday or whatever. And then she moved to Colorado. And when she moved, I was like, why didn't I ever hit her up to go rock climbing? I should have just done it. But I was so nervous. I don't know, trying something like really intimidating. And then finally I was like, there's a gym right by my house. Like literally I could walk to it. It's less than a mile away.
Really? And a rock climbing gym?
Yeah, I could walk to it. There's not many things that are walkable to my house, but because I'm just in a very like neighborhood area, and and that is so close. And finally, I called up a few of my friends, and we planned a day. I was like, we should all go rock climbing together, and I booked us like a 2-hour thing where we do like top rope with an instructor,
Oh,
and we
cool.
all went, and I loved it. And I remember actually I was about to like leave when we were all finished, and I was like, should I just sign up for a membership now? And one of my friends was like, you should just do it. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. Let me see if I'll actually enjoy this. And then after that, we just kept going like twice a week for a couple weeks straight. And then after like my like sixth or seventh time, I was like, all right, I guess I'll sign up for a membership. I
Yeah.
think I like this
It's
now.
it's such a cool sport, and I didn't. Well, I would really found it through you, and then I ended up watching HBO's. What was it? The
Oh,
Climb.
that's right. Yes, the competition show. That's
That's
right.
so cool. Like I'm like, I want to like climb something over water
I
and fall
know.
into it. I think that's the only way I'll ever boulder.
Yeah.
Um, but you said you did the course, so you
Yeah.
belay
Yes. Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can do
Well, the
that's
first
what
time
time
I went,
climbing is, right?
yeah, yeah. Top rope is like belaying. And the first time we went climbing, that's what I did. Because to be honest, I didn't really know. I knew that bouldering was a thing, and then I knew like the wall was a thing, but I didn't really know like the difference between the two. And like I don't know. I was just totally new. So I was like, why don't we just book a session with the trainer and then just like go with them? That way we can like, I don't know, get a better experience instead of just like walking in totally clueless. So the 2 hours was just all belaying. But then we were able to just like use the bouldering walls and climb afterwards. But yeah,
Cool.
I feel like rock climbing, the reason why I wanted to really start was because I have like no upper body strength and like I hate like doing like regular gym workouts and like strength stuff and whatnot. Like I'd rather be doing an activity. Like I'm way
Yeah,
more excited to work out when I'm doing something as opposed to just like showing up at the gym and being like, now what? I won't like stick to
it's
that.
hard.
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, it's still hard just to stay like, committed to anything. But that was like my main motivation because I was like, all right, this is a new fun way to work out that's like different to me. And I'm also like, I'm scared of heights. So it kind of was challenging in
Oh,
that sense.
really?
Yeah, it was challenging in that sense where I'm like, it's forcing me to do something that I'm not comfortable with, but I kind of like it at the same time. I like being a little bit scared.
I think I think you just made me realize I'm not afraid of heights. I'm the person that's afraid of falling. Because
Okay.
like, but I like, I can't. I do. I like being a little bit of. You just feel like such a badass when you're rock climbing.
Yeah.
I can't put
Yeah.
it any other way besides like. And are you someone? So I'm someone who, if I get stuck, I'll look down at thunder and I'll be like, "Keep me up here. I'm going to find the fucking route. I'm gonna do this." But he will just like. I don't think I've mentioned him in my podcast. So yeah, Thunder's my husband. For people who are listening, um, he wants to come down right away. He looks at
Okay.
me with like death eyes, and he's like, "Get me the fuck off this wall." I'm like, okay, calm down. But like, I like to, like, I don't know, like when you get stuck, do you stay up there and like really focus and like try and complete it, or are you one of those like, get me the fuck
No,
off?
I'm usually like, get me down, get me down. Because once I'm like, stuck, then I realize how high up I am. And even it's so funny, like even on the bouldering walls, you can be just like 4 feet off the ground. And I'm like, like I'm so like it's terrifying. And then I climb down and I'm like, wait, I was only like right there.
I
Like
was
it's so much
literally,
scarier when you're on the wall. But you know what? That's where sometimes recording yourself and like I hate to be that person sometimes at the gym, but then again, like we all do it nowadays. I feel like
yeah,
everybody's using their phones. But like recording myself doing something that I get stuck on, that is so like it helps so much because then you can watch yourself again and you're like, wow, if I would have just moved my foot there or my arm there. Like, I don't know. I feel like you visually see things differently when you're standing looking at it and watching yourself doing it as opposed to like actually being up on the wall.
that's smart. I've wanted same thing. I wanted to do it. That's why, like I told you earlier, I got my camera. I'm like, okay, I can start recording in the gym now. But like, it's really getting like past that
I
like
know.
shyness of recording in the
I
gym, or just
know.
like, so I'm like, I can
And
do it.
it's all in your head. Like everybody does it too. I see other people at the gym doing it, but then I'll be like, oh, but they're better than me. Like, why am I going to record when I suck? But like, you
Oh
all
my God,
start
I'm the
somewhere.
same
And
way.
honestly, I don't know how the gym is like by you, but like everybody's so chill at the gym. Like even
Yeah,
the people that are like really good, you're not getting any like looks or comments or like
that's
nobody
true.
ever makes you feel
Ever.
like you're not. If
It's
anything, it's
rock.
just like your own head that's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm terrible. But
No.
people are really chill in the climbing community, and I think that's what also keeps me going back, is that even the really good people are always down to like talk to you if you need to, or just like still wish you luck, or I don't know. Nobody's ever like passing judgment.
Yeah, no one's ever like, boo.
Yeah, no.
Most people would do that. But you know, when you go to like, I don't know, that's true though. I've been like, I worked at a CrossFit. I feel like CrossFit has a great community as well, but like, yeah, there's nothing really like a climbing community. It's definitely, I feel
Yeah,
like everyone is from all walks of life. And I feel like you meet a lot of people with the same mindset because
yeah,
you can take what you learn inside and go outside. So you also meet people who love to explore and adventure. So like, I don't know. I love rock climbing. So
I
I definitely
know.
recommend it to anyone because I was so afraid of it. And when I
Yeah.
saw you keep going and like your Instagram, and then I watched that show, I was like, I kind of want to do that. And then
Yeah.
Thunder was like, hey, I found I don't know what he found. It was in January. It's insane. We've almost been rock climbing for a year. But he
Yeah.
found it. It was a Groupon. Are those still a thing? I don't know. I want to say it was a Groupon. And he did like the top rope course for us and belaying and learning. And I was like so nervous to go. And he practically like pushed me out the door to go.
Yeah,
And
I
now
know.
here we are. It's a
It's
great
funny
exercise for
how
scoliosis.
nerve-wracking it is, though. Yeah, I was gonna say, and it's got to be so good for you and your back, 'cause that's like strengthening your back. And I feel like, I mean, I when I was listening to one of your other podcast episodes, and you were talking, I think it was like the myth episode, when you were saying like the myths and like exercise can be like bad for it, but like it's just like anything. If you're doing something the wrong way, or like something that's not beneficial for your back, like obviously it's not going to be good. But like overall exercise, it's got to help. You know what I mean? Got to
Yeah,
help if you're doing the right things. And I feel like rock climbing is something that would just help make your back stronger, and
exactly.
doesn't require you to do anything like too strenuous or crazy. That would, I don't know. I just feel like it's a good thing for
I,
you.
I think the craziest thing for like scoliosis spinal fusion that you'll see in rock climbing is bouldering. I think
Okay.
that's definitely the riskiest one.
Yeah, I guess
In
because like
my
falling.
opinion, I know
Yeah.
lead climbing is like that's when you like learn all
Um,
the ties and you're held on by where you just did.
yeah,
But
yeah,
still, that I don't know, you have a better chance. You're still connected. Where
yeah.
boulder, you're not connected to anything. You really have to like educate yourself on
That's
bracing the
true.
fall, which is
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I've definitely been doing. And I did
yeah.
reach out to my surgeon prior. Well, maybe like a month after I'm already doing it. But
But I feel like when you're beginner rock climbing, you're not doing anything that crazy, to be
yeah,
honest. Like in the very
exactly.
beginning, you're just like testing the waters and just doing like simple climbs. So like,
I'm
yeah,
still practicing on auto
yeah.
bullies
No,
fall.
I
Um, I don't know why it's so scary to be on an auto bully. Like I'll trust
it is.
like a person who obviously can easily get distracted and like look
Yeah,
all over the place, but I can't
no, it's
fall on an
true.
auto play. I climb down the entire route
Oh no.
and it's so exhausting.
Well, I mean, that's a good workout.
It's a great
Good
workout, but it's like
workout.
I just made it to the top. I think, yeah, I made it to a top finally on like a five. Am I doing this right? Which one has the five in front of
Yeah,
it?
yeah, that's the top rope that does the five
Okay,
point, which I don't
5.9.
understand it, but
Okay, so I made it up to a nine, and then I had to climb all the way down.
oh my god. I don't know how you did that.
I
See,
don't
I
know.
want to do that. I get up to the top and I'm like, oh, like I don't want to let go. And I'll usually climb like a couple steps down, but then I'm just like, I can't. I just have to trust it.
Just
I just have
fucking
to trust it.
just
Yeah,
go.
they always would say to just sit back, because like that's like the way that you'll hopefully like not hurt yourself. I mean, you shouldn't, but I feel like when you're more tense and you try to do some other things, that's when you can maybe like hit the wall. But if you just like trust it and sit back and just like let your hands go from the wall, it usually has enough support, and like you just go right down. Only for that split second, you're like, oh, I'm gonna fall to the ground.
Yeah, it's
Because like you
wild.
can pull on it and it doesn't feel like it's gonna catch you, but then once that
Yeah,
weight really drops,
but
it does have you.
I guess that means it's working.
Yeah.
I I don't know. Maybe by January, a whole year of doing it, I'll be able to confidently just not climb down. I also
Honestly,
just like belaying more because I don't know, it's more of a workout too. So when
it
you're
is.
resting, you're
It
also still
definitely,
working
it
out.
definitely is more of a workout. And I feel like at my gym, like the bouldering walls get so crowded if it's at a busy time that sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go like belay by myself because then I know like I don't have to wait around for anything. I could just like hit up all the belay. Like there's usually way less people doing any of the top rope stuff than bouldering. You know, there's always the bouldering walls are what's crowded.
Is your gym, just because I'm curious, we only have two gyms in the Tampa area. One's in St. Pete, that's one I go to, but a new one just opened up. And what's happening is they're making it like boulder based. So now like rock climbing gyms are just like I think
Bouldering.
there's maybe like 6 auto belays
Okay.
it in their whole establishment, and you walk in and it's just boulder fucking galore.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? I mean, here there's two gyms also, like on Long Island, and then otherwise I think you have to go into like Brooklyn, Queens, or like the city to
Yeah.
get other gyms. So there's only two gyms and they actually are both one's, less than a mile away and the other one is like 10 minutes away from my house. So they're both very close. I haven't been to the other one yet, like except for when I was a little kid, I went there for like rock climbing parties and stuff.
Oh wow, it's been there?
Yeah, I should go to the other gym and see what it's like. But in Colorado, I know that they have bouldering only gyms, which I heard of. I didn't go to any, but I heard that they have them there, and I was like, interesting.
Excuse you. Love how they're like weed whacking. And then I just remembered my headphones aren't. So let me put those in. Sorry, people. No, don't want to hear. I completely forgot. Okay. Wait, now I have to make sure you're connected. I'm the worst.
No, you're
But
good. You're good. I personally haven't been rock climbing in a little bit. I sprained my ankle back in July from falling, actually, now that we're talking, now that you mentioned
when
from
did you
I mean,
fall?
it wasn't like an intense fall. Like it was literally a fall that like would have happened regularly any day, but like I just landed on my ankle wrong and I rolled it and it hurt so bad. I honestly thought that I broke it, but I didn't. It was just a really, really bad sprain. My ankle just hasn't felt the same since then. I think I've gone rock climbing like twice since then because I feel like every like 2, 3 weeks or so, I accidentally sprain my ankle again. I'm probably just not letting it heal. I'm so bad. I'm the worst.
Yeah,
I should probably just rest and not do anything, but
my
that
son.
that will make me feel like I'm gonna go insane. And
No,
I also
you're
like
always doing something.
I'm doing hair, like I'm on my feet, so I don't know. It's
That
tough.
career is a workout in its own.
Yeah.
Actually got anyone's listening. I don't know if anybody has the scoliosis handbook if you have scoliosis, but in that book it actually says like hairdressing, sorry, but this is just an asymmetrical career to begin with. It's probably one of the worst ones for scoliosis. Oh, maybe someone told me that at 19 years old.
I know, I know. It's crazy. And you know what? Like, even when I'm listening to your podcast, I'm thinking back to like when we were in school and like when we first started working together, and you would always say how badly your back would hurt. Like, like it's just who would have known?
Would have known.
See, not
But
enough
look,
information about scoliosis is out there. You're right.
yeah, now you know stuff.
I
And
know.
speaking of scoliosis, look what I have.
Ooh, is that the
So for
car?
anyone who's not watching this, I'm showing Katie, Caddy, whatever. I called her Caddy in beauty school, but now I've called her Katie because we worked in salons together. But her name is Katie. But she's my caddy. But when I went into spinal fusion surgery, she got me a card, and I still
Oh,
have it. I
I
found
love
it.
that. Oh, it's so good.
It's in such good condition too. Look at this.
It is.
So beautiful. I
Aww.
love this card because it's funny. I'm gonna read it. It says, "These are special get well balloons. They're filled with helium." Funny. Literally the best card ever. Thanks, I love you.
Aw, I love that.
I keep it in my card box. I was like, I have to show her
Yes.
this.
I know. I keep certain cards too, the special ones. I'm glad you kept that. Because
Um,
what year was that again?
that was 2016.
Yeah,
That, so,
yeah.
oh, I don't know how, but a water bottle just appeared at my feet. I guess I had one. I'm really excited. I'm parched. But I wanted to talk to you about how has anybody listening. I love how I keep saying anybody listening, but if you're listening, I'm on my health journey and just really trying to be better with my scoliosis and spinal fusion by, rock climbing and joining the gym and now nutrition. And I've been not bothering because you're like one of my like best friends, but I've been picking Katie's brain about vegan food and just nutrition and all that fun stuff. So I guess I'm going to ask you a question on meal prepping.
Yes.
How are you with meal prepping and like really setting yourself up for success for the week? And yeah, like what does that look like for you? What's your routine?
What I try to do is, so I'm off on Sundays and Mondays, and Thursdays, but Thursdays I kind of work like as like part-time like morning job, and I do other things on Thursdays. So really Sundays, Mondays are like my 2 days off that I try to keep open. Sundays I try to just keep to do nothing or like go hiking or whatever, just like do whatever I want to do. So then when it comes to Mondays, I try to discipline myself to at least like cook something, because I feel like when it comes to meal prepping, sometimes we overwhelm ourselves. Like I have to cook every meal for this week and make sure I have food for this, that. And then like, I don't know, I freak myself out and then I just end up doing nothing because I'm like, this is too much work.
That's me, right?
Yeah, I that's how I usually am. But I lately what I've been telling myself is on Monday nights, I make like 1 to 2 things and I make like a decent amount of it. So that way it's food for the week. And then I
Okay.
also just try to like prep something else. So like for instance, I like last Monday I made like this Asian dish and then I prepped everything to make like a sweet potato chili. So like halfway through the week, everything was already chopped and I made it in my crock pot. All I had to do was just throw it all in and then like bam, I had chili. And I actually had so much that I made a second batch like 2 nights later. But
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I tried to just cook like pick one day a week to cook a couple extra things and then prep myself for the rest of the week and try to like get some stuff already chopped up. Cause I know if I don't have to like chop and prep, like I'll probably cook things as opposed to having to start over. Is that a dog?
Um, that's not a bad idea. How and you said how'd you come up with the chili? Like, do you find like did
Honestly,
that a rep?
Google.
Is that woman that you follow on?
Honestly, I just Google. Like if I'm craving something, I'll just look up like the vegan recipe for it, look up a couple, like look at a few of them and then just kind of go from there. Either I'll like create my own based off what I read or I'll just follow a recipe just as is if it's something I've never made before. Um but yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. And then once I find a good recipe, actually the chili recipe I've had even before I stopped eating meat. I was making this chili all the time. Even my friends would ask me to make it for them because it's so good. I can send you the recipe for it. But
No, I have a fear towards sweet potatoes, but missing out on so many good recipes,
well, to be
vegan
fair,
ones,
to
because
be
of
fair, you can totally, even in the chili like that I make, you can use regular potatoes instead of sweet potatoes. It would be just as good.
oh shit. That's a great idea.
Yeah, you can always like swap them out. Obviously, it'll be different, but like you're still getting the potato in there, and like it'll still be good.
It's true. I can't sit up like this the whole time.
But
Sorry, I'm like I need to sit back. Here we are. I guess that's true. I guess I'm just like, I guess you really just have to get used to, like the mindset of vegan cooking being easy.
yeah.
You
Oh,
know
you
what
know
I mean?
what? You know what actually helped me a lot that I forgot till now. Before I like went fully vegan, I joined one of those like cooking like boxes, like subscriptions,
Yeah.
like HelloFresh. There's one called Purple Carrot, and it's all vegan meals. Um, and honestly, I did that for maybe like 1 to 2 years on and off. Like I wouldn't get it every month because I don't know. I feel like those like subscription boxes can be a lot of money and like it like I couldn't imagine getting that every week. But I would do it like once a month, like, I don't know, every so often whenever I felt like if I knew I had a week that I would be home and would have time to cook, then I'd like make sure to order a box that week. And after doing that for like 1 to 2 years, that really helped me get more confident in vegan cooking because I
Yeah.
didn't really know how to cook like anything. And that kind of got all the basics. Like it taught me how to cook tofu to how I liked it because I hated tofu for like the longest time. It took me a long time to really like tofu. And even now, I only like, well, not that I only like it, but I like it the most when I make it because I just know how I like it. Like whenever I order it out somewhere, I'm like, how's it going to be? Sometimes it sucks, but
Well, I haven't ordered it out in a while, but like, yeah, I feel like I suck at making it at home, so I never cook it now.
you should, the recipe that I sent you the other day, you should
Yeah,
try it.
now I'm writing down like I have a whole list between like you and Lauren. I'm like, all right, to get this because I feel like lifestyle change is hard, and
Yeah, it is. But doing it slowly makes it better. Like just you could
yeah,
even just start out, pick like one new dish to make a week. And it doesn't have to be like crazy complicated. It could be something so simple as just like cooking tofu a certain way and then you can make a vegetable on the side, you know. But you should just set a little goal or once every 2 weeks, whatever like works best for you. But just start out with that.
yeah, I'm going to because I feel so much better when I like eat that way. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I know.
What did
That
I have the other
that
day? And I feel
That's the
like
main
shit.
reason why I went vegan was just because of how much better I felt when I ate that way. I mean, there's tons of other benefits to eating vegan, but I just like when I wasn't eating fully vegan and I was still eating like dairy and like everything else, like the days that I would eat vegan, I felt so much better. So much better. That like after just like keep like doing that, I'm like, why am I even eating the stuff that
I,
doesn't make me feel good anymore?
that's true. I should do that. I'd be like 2 days out of the week, maybe back to back, where I know I'll eat vegan, and then the next day don't. And maybe I'll be like, okay, now that because I've never really like I don't know, you feel like shit, but the way that you're like saying like how you really like the way you got it into your lifestyle and how you really started to notice the differences, I feel like if I could do that, it would just be, it would be a no brainer. It's like who the fuck
Yeah.
wants to feel like they have to shit themselves 24
Literally. Like it's
that
so
hurts my
true.
life.
It's like night and day. Like I mean I never was diagnosed with any like digestive issues or anything like that, but like I know it runs in my family because I see it with like my sister and I see it with other family members in the past. Like so I know that like between like gluten and dairy like, stuff just like upsets our stomach, but when I went vegan, like everything went away. Like all of those issues went away. I mean, obviously, of course, I could still get a stomach ache or like, I could still eat a bunch of like fried vegan food. And obviously, that's not going to make me feel good. But on like an overall, like general scale, like any of those digestive issues that I felt before went completely away. And that alone was just like, all right, I'm like, this is nice.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm excited. I have all my recipes. I have a little book. It's gonna be good. I don't know how, I don't know. My mom already went food shopping. So, I mean,
I
turkey
know.
is gonna be probably my classic turkey day. I hate everything, all the
Yeah.
food anyway. I'll vegan casserole. I really wanted to try and make like a vegan one, but I feel bad. Well, I don't know because we get there at like 3 a.m. on Thursday, so I can't really
Yeah,
pour. So
I know. I do have to say, like the holidays and like dinner, like family dinners, those are like the hardest parts of like being like, because honestly, even when I went vegan, I didn't just like I mean, I did eventually. I'm like, okay, now I'm just gonna stick with it. But it was a good like 2 years of me like playing around with eating vegan,
yeah,
before I fully committed to it. So
no,
like I feel like
the
it's nice to not like rush and pressure yourself because I feel like you'll just want to stick to it more as opposed to just saying, "All right, that's it from today on out. I'm not eating like any
first,
animal products." It's hard, We're literally raised eating all these foods, so when you take them all away, you're like, "What is there to eat?" But there's
like
honestly tons of food to eat. You just have
there,
to learn.
I actually did make. I forgot to take a picture of it. I think it was before I made the group chat. It was after I like hung up the phone with Lauren. I forget what day it was. Um, and she told me about apples, like those silly like apples that look so hard to eat. Not hard to eat, but hard to make. They're what are they called? They're like soft and they have like cinnamon on them usually, and
Oh
they're
yeah, yeah.
those are so easy to make. So
I
like instead
know.
of having like a Klondike bar the other day, I was like, I'm gonna make some yummy apples, and
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
just like
Honestly, I should do that more too. And another thing one of my friends whipped out one night when I was at her house because we were craving something sweet. She just took like berries, like strawberries, I think it was strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries, and then just put like vegan whipped cream on them. And then we were just like eating that out of a cup. It's so simple, but it was so good. It
because I
was
think I
good.
get like, oh, I'm not like yeah, it really is true, like how we grow up with it, and it's just so hard to like take out of our mindset that there's no other way of eating, but really there is
Yeah.
something out there. So, but, like you said, I think it's good to do it step by step, especially like anyone out there who's listening who has, like you have scoliosis, you're trying to do the best that you can, even if you don't have scoliosis, like fitness wise and nutrition wise, it can be extremely overwhelming. This dog is
He's so cute. He wants to
well,
be on the podcast.
he's a star now. But my biggest one, what I told you about this, but drinking. Any next segment of this probably is just talking about slowly getting drinking out of my life because I feel like I don't know. I feel like it gets in the way of so many things, like working out the next day. And
Yeah.
I've just been in this not great routine for the past 7 years. So, um, but I'll get a little bit into that though. I feel like how long ago was you were almost not been drinking for what, 2 years now?
Yeah. In December, it'll be 2 years.
Okay, because I remember it started when we were still working together.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Like, fuck yeah.
I feel
How's it
like
been, like,
for
taking
me,
alcohol out of life? Like, how has it really benefited you? And like, any advice?
that was definitely like, I feel like my missing puzzle piece. It's like, because even when I was still drinking, I was still working out. I was trying to like eat better and like I was trying to do all these things, but like drinking, it definitely like you said, it can hold you back, and sometimes we don't even realize it until you like remove it completely, until you like see how much it does hold you back. Um, and there's such like a social stigma with drinking that like it's hard.
It's
It's
huge.
hard not to drink. I mean, I'll still even just make jokes that I'm like the one not drinking, and I'm like I'm the loser. I know, but no, everybody's always like very supportive about it. No, but it's hard. Like I don't know. I feel like, especially if you have any like mental health issues, like I was definitely struggling with, I mean, I've always struggled with depression and like it
Yeah,
still is relevant in my life now, but I was using drinking as such a crutch and I didn't realize it until things were just like getting bad. And I was just like drinking all the time. I was drinking every day of the week, like either small amounts, large amounts. But that was also my issue too, is that once I would start drinking, I didn't want to stop. And like,
exactly.
and I never really realized that I had that problem until like family members started to address it to me. And like my boyfriend, Brian, like he has been so supportive throughout everything. And I feel like if it wasn't for him, maybe I wouldn't have even stopped drinking. I could have been in a way worse position by now too.
Yeah,
Um, but it really is, you realize it's an issue when like the people that you love are like telling you like you need to stop. Like when it gets to that, it's like okay, like the people that you love are clearly telling you this not because they want to like ridicule you or make you feel bad, but because like they see that there's an issue going on. And my head was just like in the clouds, and I didn't really realize it until I forced myself to stop.
yeah.
And then when I stopped drinking, I was like, wow. I was like, I literally was such an asshole to myself, really. But like
But
to
it really
myself and also to my loved ones for like ignoring their like cries to me to like to have me stop, because I didn't listen to everybody right away. it took like multiple times of me just like, getting blacked out and like saying shit I didn't want to say and doing stuff that you wake up the next morning, you're like, what the hell did I do? Or sometimes the worst is when you wake up in the morning and you don't even remember anything, but you know you did something bad and
And
you
that
just wake up.
stomach.
Yeah, that rock in your stomach. And I'm like, everybody hates me. Everybody hates me. Everybody hates me.
Yeah, that sounds so familiar.
Yeah.
Like, I think it really just takes like finding that love for yourself too. But when I say this, Katie, I have never seen someone rise and accomplish a fucking complete fucking, what is that called? I always say it the wrong way. It's fucking skateboard fucking trick. A 180 is when you don't go back. Started, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I would like to say, and like, I love you. You're one of my best friends, but like that was amazing to watch. Like it was shitty that it happened, whatever. But you were someone who just fucking was like, I need to change my life. I'm fucking doing it today. And you didn't. Once you decided it was for you, and like take all the other stuff aside, your family members, your loved ones, everything like that. Once that spark lit up within you, it was fucking amazing to watch. And I can't believe it's 2 years. So cheers to you.
Thanks.
You're definitely inspiration for this huge crazy thing I'm doing with like the Twisted Wander, working out, and like my scoliosis journey, just because I'm like, all right, I have someone in my life that completely did a 180, that was in a similar situation. They just wanted to better themselves. So yeah, you're my inspo,
Yeah,
bitch.
you got this, girl. You can do it. And like you said too, you've already been like building on it. You've already been building on it. Like I mean, as much as I did, like sometimes I do feel like I did wake up one day and I was like, all right, that's it. Like no more. But even with drinking, like I did kind of like I realized that I had to stop and like I wanted to stop, but it still was hard. Like I would go a couple months without drinking, but then I would have that one time when I would drink and I would just get like trashed and like I feel like shit after. And I'm like, well, now all the past like months of work that I've done was just ruined after last night. But then you just got to realize, no, that's just literally part of the process. Like you're gonna fuck up sometimes and you're still gonna do things that you're not happy with, but you can't let that one night or that one time of like, going back, like throw off all the work that you just did. You just got to pick it up and just keep going from where you're at.
Exactly. I feel like a lot of people these days just take restart as a bad word.
Yeah.
Like, because I think people think of restarting like, oh, okay, this is, I feel like we all dread it. Like day one of anything fucking sucks, but at least like you have the opportunity to restart. Like if you woke up this morning and okay, I drank last night, I'm disappointed in myself. You have a brand new day to get through that alcohol and try again. Like as long as like effort and the heart is there to change, I feel like eventually you will see that huge transformation, which I saw when I literally watched you go through everything that you went through. So, and like you said, I think it was last week, like the rosé will taste much better on Friday than it will on.
Yep. After you like test
But
yourself a bit, you have that control. It tastes so much better when you feel like you have control and that like it's not controlling you, you know?
But I'll be honest, I was waiting to admit this with you. I didn't have rosé on Friday, but I had
Okay.
Thursday because that's how bad I was craving it. I was like, damn it, I couldn't even make it to Friday. But then this past week, I made it to Friday.
There you go.
So
That's fun.
how like, okay, like because you want to keep doing small little things and get better. So it's true, like even though okay, I drank a beer and I really wanted to wait till Friday, like at least it wasn't the rosé, and I only had like a beer and not like a shit ton.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's baby steps, it's like all these little things, they do eventually add up to like the bigger goal, and you just have to have patience with yourself. That's like the biggest thing. You just got to trust yourself and just keep going with it. And then having support too. Like we started the group chat now. Like you have me and Lauren in the group chat and like having accountability. That's honestly what helped me start like all of this journey too, was like contacting Lauren and like starting to work with her. because like when I've been working out with my personal trainer and our good friend now for it'll be 3 years in January. So
Holy,
like, yeah, because I started with her 2021.
that's
Yeah.
amazing, dude. Yeah, you
Uh,
started. Yep. Okay. That's amazing.
yeah. Um, and honestly, like having somebody like accountable like that, even though she was like she's my personal trainer now, she's grown to be like a very close friend of mine. But in the
Yeah.
very beginning, the main reason why I started working out with her was because in my head, I knew that I wanted to stop drinking, which is just like a personal thing that she really doesn't have anything to do with, but she did help me like just stay on track in my own head. But anyways, I knew that I wanted to stop drinking. I was really interested in cutting out meat and like animal products. And I, because of her presence on social media, I knew she was vegan. And the main thing was after COVID, because yeah, 2020 was the year of COVID, and then when the holidays hit, all the numbers went back up again, and everything like spiked. So when January hit, the salon, we changed our schedule and I was working like 4 or 5 days a week. And then I was cut down to three because we started to split into teams. And we only had half the salon work on 3 days a week and then the other half work on the other days. So that way, if any of us got sick, we were only contaminating half the staff and we could still like have half the staff's like work. So yeah, it was a good idea, but then I realized I knew where I was mentally, that I was not really in a good place, that I was drinking all the time and I wasn't taking care of myself. And I was like, now if I'm gonna have just 3 days a week that I work, I'm like, I'm gonna spiral. I'm like,
Yeah.
if I'm like home all the time, I'm gonna be very depressed. I'm going to be because I already was feeling these things, and like work was one motivation to get me out of the house and like, act like normal. But I'm like, if I just am going to be home all the time and I don't have anything else committed to, like, I know I'm going to like spiral back down. I'm going to get really depressed. I'm going to be drinking all the time. Um, so I knew I needed help. So I reached out on Instagram and I made a post just saying like that I was looking for a personal trainer, that, I was also interested in like cutting out animal products. So like at the time, vegetarian like diet is what I was looking for. So like I was just putting it out there if anybody knew any personal trainers that would fit my vibe. And she actually messaged me because we were both following each other because she's in Lindenhurst. I work in Lindenhurst. We have mutual friends. I was probably following her page for a while, just like lurking. And then she messaged me and said, "Hey, I think we'd be a good fit." And then like I think like a couple days later I went to her studio and we just hit it off from there. So I committed to working out with Lauren 3 days a week. So the days that I wasn't working, I was going at least starting out my day at like I think 9:30 a.m. we would do because I tried to keep it on a schedule that like I was used to waking up for work.
Yeah.
Um, so that way it got me up and out of the house because like I'm the type that if I don't have anything to wake up for, I will literally stay in bed all day. And it's so bad. I so badly want to be an early riser, morning person. Like, let's get the day going. And I struggle so hard with that. But once I'm up, then I'm up and I'm good. So on all the days that I wasn't working, I made sure to have a session with Lauren at 9:30 a.m. So it got me up out of bed at like the same time I would have to get like be at work. And then once I'm up, I'm up. And having that accountability like really helped me start to pave the way for like my health journey.
That's true.
Right.
I feel accountability definitely does help because it's so easy to just, I don't know, when you're in the beginning of stages of things, it's really hard to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is. And like and all like, all I would do is just go and work out with her. I mean, she definitely like motivates me and inspires me in so many ways, but it's not like she was like coaching me on how to stop drinking and like coaching me on my nutrition. Like we were literally just like working out to begin, but just having like something that I was doing for myself and like that I had to check in with somebody else, like, yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there. It just made me realize like once I went home, I'm like, oh, well, since I just worked out, like I don't want to eat like trash the rest of the day, or I don't want to like have a drink in the afternoon. Like I just worked out. Like I should be good. Like, I don't know. It just starts changing your mindset a little bit more. So that just started to trickle into me wanting to change up everything else in my life. So
Yeah.
shout out to Lauren. She helped me in so many ways that she doesn't even realize.
That's how I, but I feel like it just has to be the right time for
Yes.
you. Ever, like whoever, I don't know, it's such a hard decision to come to. Like the drinking one for me, like cutting it out because I feel like I just grew up with it. Like,
Yeah.
hey, like my family is a bunch of raging alcoholics, but like we like to party, we like to have a good time,
Yeah.
and I don't know, like it's kind of going back to what you said earlier about like the social aspect of drinking and like just it's definitely hard. Like I already messaged them like, hey guys, I'm drinking less. I'm coming with my medical marijuana, but I
Yeah.
don't be drinking. But that's I don't know. It's
Well,
just
that's good though. I feel like that's good that you're at least letting them know ahead of time, like, hey, this is like a boundary I'm trying to set. Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to drink less. Like, so, as long as they're supportive of you, you should be good.
And they are, which is amazing. And it's so funny because I called them and my mom's like, oh, thank goodness. Like, I guess she's like tired of drinking. She drank a lot the other day. She's like, I need to cut back. And I called my dad and he said the same thing. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're all
Aw, good, good. So you're all feeling the same way. So you can all
cool.
have a nice, chill Thanksgiving. Maybe they'll partake in your medical marijuana.
That is something I never thought I would get, a medical marijuana card. But that's something I feel like anyone's listening out there, I would definitely look into if you have the scoliosis, the scolio, or anything really. Like I feel like it's just so beneficial. Like
Yeah.
anything, use it too much, that could also become a
Yeah.
problem. But like nothing's really been researched that anything bad is THC and fucking CBD. But it's definitely helped me go to sleep better than like having 2 or 3 glasses of wine at night do, and then like feeling
Mhm.
cranky and dehydrated. Like you can feel dehydration the older you get.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I feel like
Oh,
my are just like in the morning after like 2 glasses of wine now are just like
yeah.
water.
It's so true.
Trying to change that, like little things. Trying to change at night, like, okay, I'll smoke a little bit before I go to sleep and feel calm and know that tomorrow I'm not gonna have a fucking headache.
Yeah,
It's like
I
way
know.
than
Yeah.
drinking and just damaging, like you said, all the good work that you put in. So, but again, you just have to, it has to be right for you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, because even when I first started working out with Lauren and I had all these like goals in my head I knew I wanted to complete, like I still didn't like stop drinking right away. I still worked out with her and like was drinking, but I definitely started drinking less. And then it got to the point where I was really just drinking at like social events. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, and I'm not just talking about like, oh, with my family, like hanging out, relaxing. I'm saying like going out to the bar after work with coworkers or going out
yeah.
to a show with friends. Like then I would drink, and then I don't know. I feel like after I cut it out in my like regular life, and then I was just doing it on these social like times, that's when I really just started to realize I'm like, I don't enjoy this any like as much anymore. Like I think I do when I'm like drunk, you feel like you do, but like I don't. Like what am I doing? Yeah. I
Okay.
don't
Do
know.
you
And then
find,
I felt like for me at least, for me, I had a hard time balancing like, oh, I'll just drink like every once in a while. Like I would just I would overdo it every time, unfortunately. So I realized that for me it's just better to completely cut it out because I was just not good at just having a couple drinks and keeping it at that. Like I would just keep drinking like the entire night and I
I
just
can swallow this
and,
entire,
and like even if I had like friends or family like there to be like, okay, that's enough, I would just find ways to sneak it behind their backs anyway. So like what was I doing? Like, like it's just like I was just not in a safe place and I clearly could not manage my drinking. So I just had to cut it out. And it was just best for me to do it that way. But again, I came to that realization though myself.
yeah,
Like when I really wanted to do it for myself, like that's when I actually did it instead of being told to stop, you have to want to.
facts. I think that's, I don't think anyone's like rightfully like come out and be like, hey,
I
but I feel like maybe they're just being nice.
don't know. I know. I don't know.
Or
It's
maybe it's everyone around me, like we all have, and that's nothing wrong. Like no one around, like all my closest friends and like family, like no one like, has like a problem. I just feel like we like to drink and it always goes I don't know. Like I always feel like I haven't done that in a while, like that painful feeling you're talking about when you wake up with dread and stuff like that. I hadn't done that in a while, but I
Yeah.
feel I'm in the stage where how you just said, if say it was like 3 months from you
Yeah.
not drinking, and then like I feel like I'm in that stage. Like if I do like do it socially, I probably would go over at the top. Like there's still
Yeah.
like it's
I
alcohol.
know.
It's
I
like the
know.
more I'm creating a boundary with it, the more I'm really starting to like understand just like how bad it is and how normal I've made that in my
Yeah. 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 Yep. It's so true. We do
it's
normalize it. No, I
like,
know.
oh, that's just like fucking Josh. Let's maybe his name is Josh. Like, oh, that's just Josh being a fucking asshole over there when he's drunk. Like, why is that like
I
normalized?
know. It's so
Like,
true.
who's forgiven me for being an asshole? I just want to shout that out. I appreciate it,
Yeah. Same.
but it's it's just crazy. Like, it's just like, why do we as a society feel like we need it?
I know. It's so
So
true.
it's
I
really
know.
weird say that because I love me some beer.
Yeah.
But the more options with like non-alcoholic beers that I'm seeing and like different out takes on like wine, like it's definitely becoming like I feel like a movement with our
Yeah.
like generation. I feel like we're like slowly each one in their own way is like waking up to be like, okay, because now like mocktails and shit are like
Yeah. Super popular.
cool and like really popular. I'm like, okay, like I'm starting to see the other side where I feel
Yeah.
like I used to be like, yeah, for like
Yeah.
three
I know.
stuff.
I think because even when I knew I needed to stop and I was like, oh, I'm gonna not drink. I'm gonna not drink. Like, I don't know. It's hard. It's so hard. Like there was always that voice in my head that like it was like, you're not actually gonna stop though. You're just taking a break. Like it's just for now. Like you're not gonna actually give it up. Like that's so lame. Like what else is there to do? Like you know, like
But there's so much to do.
there's so much to do. There's so much
Like,
to do.
I rock climbing. I want to go to the gym. Like I'm like it's
Yeah.
like once like you really do find yourself like becoming this different version of yourself, how exciting that is compared to like having a beer.
Yeah.
Which
Yep.
like I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably have a beer or two at Thanksgiving, but that's because that's the stage I'm in right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like
Exactly.
gonna go.
Yeah.
Like we'll see. I just know I don't want to feel like shit and I'm way more into fitness than I feel like I ever really have been in my entire life. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's just really once you find more things that you're passionate about, it becomes easier to let go of.
Yes.
Do
Yes.
you feel in your journey, because I have to ask, do you feel in your journey with like how you've changed so much, did you feel like it became, I feel like a lot of people say this on this journey, it became lonely?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Like,
Definitely like it does like okay, so there's one thing that like one instance that pops in my head where um I went away on a ski trip with my boyfriend and his friends, and they are all incredibly supportive. Like all of them knew I didn't drink. Like I was still playing drinking games with them, but just giving away my drinks to people. Like nobody, we went away. It was probably like 10 or 12 of us. So it was a house like filled with people, and nobody smoked weed too, besides like one other person. So like
oh,
it's not even like I had somebody else to like go like smoke a joint with, like, you know. So, but um there was one night when like we were all playing drinking games and like that like moments like that is when it would sit in because I was the only one not drinking and nobody was making me feel bad about it, literally nobody. So like it's nobody else's fault to blame, but like I was just taking it all in and I'm like, wow, I'm like I am that person right now. Like I am the only one that's like not partaking in like everything else that they're doing. And I did kind of feel like a loser. And it sounds so silly saying that. And again, they didn't make me feel like that. They weren't
yeah.
pressuring me. They weren't treating me any different. Like it was all just in my head. But it was like upsetting me for like a quick second. I actually had to like leave the room for a moment because I just wanted to like cry for no reason. I'm just like, I can't believe like I'm here at this like party and like like I'm the only one not drinking. I'm like, just because I can't get my shit together, like why can't I enjoy it like everybody else, you know? So like times
So
like that is when it's like fuck, like that's when I feel like isolated because I'm like nobody else like is feeling it the same way I do. But there are other people that do. But you know,
it's kind of
but
hard when you're not in the same room. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I feel like if you had a little friend to like smoke joint with, it wouldn't have been like,
yeah,
but it's definitely a lot. It's, but you're not a fucking loser. But I'm really
yeah.
awesome that
I
you have like
know.
support there and that you are able. But yeah, I think it's really just, that was probably just a huge like self-awareness mirror moment of like
Yeah.
how far you've come and
Yes. Yeah.
taking all that in. But
Yep. Yeah.
like,
Immediately, I was texting. I think I was texting like my sister and my like one of my best friends, just like touching in with them, just like letting them know how I feel. Because I was like, I just feel like crying right now, but like it's okay. Like it's not anybody else's fault. Like I just feel very in my head. Like I'm the only one not drinking, and like everybody's having a fucking party here, and I'm the like literally the only one that's not doing it. And that was only 2 or 3 months into me like completely stopping drinking. So that was like very fresh still. That was probably one of the first like bigger social interactions that I didn't drink at. And it was like it was hard. It was hard,
like the
honestly.
on like milestone social
Yeah.
that you
And especially since like towards the end, like until I decided to stop drinking, I was really bad with like sneaking it like behind people's backs anyway and just drinking like I'm just not having the people that like love me see me drinking. So like the fact that I was in a house with tons of other people and there was alcohol literally everywhere, everywhere. Like if I really wanted to, I could have drank. Like if I
yeah.
wanted to like sneak it, if I wanted to like do and I didn't. So like that was like a huge testing moment and I definitely felt very alone. But it's okay. I don't feel that way anymore at least.
You made through. That's all
Yeah,
that. And Brian still drinks?
he
Brian
does. Yeah, I mean, he definitely like cut back a little bit when I wasn't drinking because he was probably just like so like over it too, just with the way that I was acting. Like I think he got to the point where he didn't want to drink either because he was just so upset with everything and like everything I've done. But like since then, like since like we've healed from it more, he does drink, but he's so good. He's so like in control. He just has a couple drinks, he's fine. Like he's never been like a heavy drinker besides like his like college days. That's like that has never been like his thing. So
I feel like those are the unicorns of the world.
I know. I'm like, what the hell?
Uh, but it's good. And it's really nice that you guys are able to like, you know, heal and move on from all that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we love Brian.
Yeah. Thank God for him. He is very so patient with me. And I'll forever appreciate it.
Yeah. Patience is fucking hard. I feel like we don't even have patience with ourselves. So like for other people to have patience with us, it's definitely
Yeah.
Ah, what else did I want to talk to you about? What did we cover? Is there anything I wanted to
Yeah.
drinking, nutrition, rock climbing? I showed you my scoliosis card.
Yes. Scolio. I love that you call it scolio, by the way. Like every time you say it, I love it. I'm like, that is amazing.
Oh wait, no, I have to tell you this story then. I don't know when it first happened, but my husband Thunder, I want to say it was before he knew I had scoliosis. This is when we like first met and we were working and bartending together, and I don't know where we were going. And he goes, "Let's scoliosis." And I'm like, "No, scoliosis."
Stop, wait, I love that.
We just talked about it the other day. He's like, I used to say that all the time. Like he would it was literally his saying. He was like, "Well, scoliosis. Come on, that's scoliosis." I'm like, "Do you know?" So eventually, I was like, "Do you know that I have scoliosis?" And he's like, "Oh shit." He's like, "Oh my god, I feel so bad." I was like, "Don't. This is literally the fucking funniest thing that anyone's ever said to me." Let's scoliosis. Like, okay, coming. Fucking idiot. Um, I still can't find my hair. Maybe that's like inappropriate. Not inappropriate. but you know, we can find off the live. But oh, I feel like we covered everything.
Yeah, we talked about a lot.
Did I missed you so much?
I know.
Um,
You.
I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna say, let's say goodbye to everybody. What episode is this? This is going to be, you're going to be episode number 9.
Wow, number 9.
All right.
Yeah.
But that's it for us, guys. Katie, if you want to shout out Studio Trio, where you work and all that good stuff so people can find you, go follow you and get there herded.
Yeah. So yeah, I work at Studio Trio in Lindenhurst. Their social media is just at Studio Trio, right in the village. I'm there pretty much full time. My Instagram is at Katie Fro. Yeah, I do all things hair, color, cutting, everything. And then I also just want to drop Lauren's name too, since she was mentioned a few times. My personal trainer and our good friend Lauren. She is, I believe it's at Lauren_J, Jay.
Yeah.
It's either 1_ or 2. I think it's just 1_ Lauren_J.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
actually,
pretty sure that's it.
I put this out. I'll put all the resources in the little clicky link so they can get to you and Lauren and Studio Trio and all that good stuff. But until next time, guys, keep on wandering. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
And stop. How do I stop? Did I do it?
I think so.
Okay,
Oh,
stop. Stop. I'll edit that out.